Seriously unserious with T Meek, D Board, D Jones, scanning on whatever we feet on. We just getting started to feast on. The table is set, the mics is checked, it's topics to speak on. Seriously unserious with T Meek, D Board, D Jones, standing on whatever we feet on. We just getting started to feast on. The table is set, the mics is checked, it's topics to speak on.
After this, don't let me forget to ask you what that. You might know it now, but that song that Deion played at the end of his pregame. Yeah. What is that fucking song? Yeah, I can't remember the fucking name of it.
Oh, don't everybody want to go? Something like that. Oh, who is that?
It's like a
Trick Daddy and
it's like
something.
It's a 2000s like
it was on
in
Madden.
that era of.
It was on Madden. It was on like Madden 07.
Anyways,
I don't think I've been as hyped for a football game as I was yesterday. Like, and my own team played Friday night. I was like, this shit felt like the March on Washington.
Nigga, I'm behind Deion. I wish Michigan wasn't playing at noon so I could watch more of it.
Bro, you should just fuck. Y'all niggas playing
Y'all
ECU.
niggas was gonna win.
You could have put
Can't
two
do
screens
that.
up.
Can't do that though.
No, you
couldn't
can't.
because Peacock was on. Ours was on Peacock and that was on regular ESPN.
Oh yeah.
Couldn't do that.
Must be nice. Must be nice wanting to watch y'all teams. I can't do it. Can't do it. I can't do it when niggas gonna lose 24-11. And we're gonna lose. Let's lose like TCU. Let's put up 40 points
guns
in
out.
Yeah. No. Oh my God, this is a grinded out game.
we ain't scored.
yeah, that's the worst.
Cause we was down like 24-11 or 24-3 or something. Then it's like, all right, game's over. You score. So now it's like, oh, you only lost by 13 points. Like it wasn't real 13.
That's the shit you do on Madden. Like,
Yeah.
All right, well, let me make sure I don't get roasted too bad.
Right.
I didn't get blown out.
Well, we want to welcome everybody back. Seriously on Serious. I'm Dallas. Here with Taryn and Devin. Devin, how are you?
I'm doing good, feeling good. It's nice outside.
It is.
I'm about to start baking. Hold on.
Taryn, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. Well, let's talk about that. Let's get into the Deion thing.
Yeah.
College football's back.
Thank the Lord.
It's been a long, 4 or 5 months?
It felt very long this summer.
Yeah.
Without football.
What do you mean? There's summer rugby sevens.
Oh yeah, that was nice. When y'all would be on TV once in a while.
Yeah,
There's baseball.
I watched more baseball this year than I did
Yes.
ever in my life, so that kind of helped, but it's still like, this is the fix.
I'm glad to be done with the
You don't have to
putting up
pretend
the
to watch.
futsal.
Yeah. I'll still kind of care like during
Right.
the playoffs now, but now
Right.
I can stop caring.
Exactly.
Like I can stop forcing myself to be like, wow, look, he hit a home run
Right.
again.
No.
Cool.
Yeah.
So are you done watching soccer too now?
No, Man
Okay.
United. I've watched all of their games.
Why
so
do you
far.
pick Man U? Aren't they like the best or
No.
the most expensive team or something
I
like
think
that?
they are, yes, but they got cool jerseys. So
Right. You always gotta go.
I think that's the equivalent of like liking the Cowboys or liking the Yankees.
Yeah.
over
And
there.
the Bulls. Like, I mean, look at what Dallas does. He's a,
No, the Bulls is not a part of that. No, that's the Lakers is a part of that.
Okay.
Look at you, Dick Rider. Okay, we talking about okay. Anyways, so yeah, Deion, if you guys didn't hear, came from Jackson State. He was there for 3 years?
3 years.
First year wasn't great.
Yeah.
I think he was like 5-6 or something
Yeah,
like
something
that.
like that. COVID year.
Yes. And then he went 11-1, 11-1,
Something like that.
12
Should have won
12-0,
the
11-1, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they lost that last one last year because they
Yeah.
tight end want to drop an open pass. But you know.
Oh, that's right.
That
Good.
shit was ridiculous.
Brave for that young man.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I know as a coach, like,
Wasn't it a white guy too?
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? We finally give you a shot, and then you come here and do that, and it's like, all right. But I think it's, as a coach, because I'm pretty sure he came out and was like, oh, we can't blame it all on him.
Yeah.
Actually, let's go back to that. Fuck that. Fuck that. We shouldn't blame the refs. We can't
Right.
blame on this one play. No, fuck it. That decided the game. At some point, we had a chance.
Right.
And if you would have made this right call, you would have made this catch, done something, we would have won.
We would have.
We didn't have no more chances after that.
Exactly.
Everything leading up to that moment put us in the position to win.
To be in that spot.
So you had one last thing to win, and you don't do it. So this whole, well, we shouldn't make it that close. Nah, fuck that. Especially the ref thing. They be like, oh, well, we shouldn't have let it play that close. We could have. Cool. But at the end of the day, we got all the way up to the last 30 seconds, and niggas want to call something a random-ass fumble or some bullshit or not call a pass interference. Like, on the most pivot. There's no end. There's nothing after.
You didn't call this penalty on something that could have been a penalty 3 plays into the game. Like, you know, you waited to the most pivotal point of the game.
When there's no time to go back.
To be like, oh, flag. It was like, all right, bro.
I agree with the ref thing. Listen, I think refs have fucked plenty of my opportunities as a fandom. I think of it might have been Braxton Miller, the spot. It was like 4th down. Dez.
That was a catch.
Was a catch. In today's NFL, that's a catch.
That's
but
a
we
catch.
just changed the rules right after that, after we fuck us.
And Dez was never the same after that, was he?
Never the same.
I don't think so. No.
Never the same.
I think he had an okay year after that, but then it was like, you're getting old. But back to Deion. So, Deion, basically, some black people were upset because they thought he was using HBCUs as a stepping stool to get to a Power 5.
Which is bullshit. That is bullshit.
Is it?
Yes, it's bullshit because if I spend somewhere 3 years, so college, if you're not familiar with football, 4 years mostly that you get a class, like, you know, you get your players in there for 4 years, and then it's a whole new group of people. He was there for 3 years. So I get you to the point of damn near possible graduation, going to the draft, and I bring all of this notoriety, all these improvements. I put my own money into building y'all facilities, all these eyes. You got like 3 or 4 games a year on ESPN and their networks. Bro, you're not getting that from some Joe Smo that comes in as, oh, I'm new coach at Jackson State.
I agree.
So to then expect Deion Sanders, who has excelled in everything he does,
Yes.
to be like, oh, I'm going to stay at Jackson State for the rest of my life.
You can't stay for like 6 years or something?
Why would I stay for 6 years? What benefit
Because you're trying to build the HBCUs up.
did I not? I just got y'all.
Did you
3
watch
to 4 games.
Did you watch a Jackson State game last year?
Yes. I watched multiple Jackson State
Did you watch
games.
Jackson State's game this year? Their game they just had?
No, I
Do you even know who they played?
They played. Who did they play?
Exactly.
Played,
That's exactly
no,
my point.
No, because they played like South Carolina State.
That's exactly
and they
my
won
point.
the game.
You don't care. Deion's gone. We don't care. If we
That
being
was also
honest,
Correct.
we don't care.
But who cared before?
Okay, no one's gonna care after. But if you at least
Okay,
but
so
if you
if
could at
it's-
least
if
stayed
it's-
a couple more
no,
years,
but if
you
it's
could solidify.
equal win some where nobody cared before, the people who cared before or who didn't care before are not going to care after.
If you would have said, you also
So
said
if
he got
Deion
more
stays
games for
20
ESPN.
years, if Deion stays for 20 years,
If he stays for 20 years, they're not in the SWAC
it's the
anymore.
same thing. No, that's not how that works.
With how all these conferences are, you don't think they could move up eventually in 20 years?
I'll tell you one thing. If Deion goes and wins,
Why can it work? Why could in 20 years?
Because listen to me. If Deion goes and wins, say Deion wins in 10 years, 5 SWAC championships, right?
I mean, he would be winning more than 5.
Oh, well, I'm just saying, just to give you like an average. If he does that, the improvement to whatever the campus and the facilities and the players who were going to come there was going to be is not going to then move them to the echelon of being Division 1A.
In 20 years? They couldn't you couldn't think Deion could turn a program in 20 years from now.
Because if he
in
goes
20,
and wins 5
40,
straight, listen
43,
to me, if he goes and wins 5 straight, people
you
gonna
keep
be like,
saying
it's
5
gonna,
straight. I'm talking about 20 years from now,
okay,
not
20
5
years. So say he wins 10 straight. If he goes and wins 10,
why do you keep saying 10 straight when I'm talking about 20 overall
okay,
years?
him just being there 20 years, that little.
That's little. That's a
okay.
little stint.
Okay, well, we're not going to do that where you parse my words.
You just said little.
The little blurb of him being there 20 years is not then going to be like, oh, let's focus on Jackson State for 20 years in the SWAC. Who are they playing against?
What do you? Why,
Who are
you're
they playing
arguing
against?
something totally
Deion
different
was
than what
there
I'm
for
arguing about.
3 years, and won all 3 years.
I don't even know what you're arguing right now, Devin. I'm asking if you think
I'm
in 20
telling
years
you that 20 years is not going to mean
they couldn't
anything.
move up to D1.
No,
Why?
No, because
If he
the
gets the players,
infrastructure and the support It's not going to be where it needs to be to be up
You have
in 20
FCS
years.
schools that move up. You have fucking Appalachian State. You have schools like that move up to D1 in 20 years.
But
we're also talking about Deion Sanders.
But you're looking at what a HBCU is.
But it's Deion Sanders is at that HBCU now. That's what I'm saying. The difference.
I think the issue with that is if you try to move them up and out of that conference, I think you're taking away from the other HBCUs, which.
And it's not, yes.
But people don't care about them anyway. They only care about Jackson State.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. They're not going to be able to move up like that because of Deion.
But I'm not talking about HBCUs as a whole move to D1. I'm saying Jackson State moves in. You don't think?
I think they could,
I don't
but
think
then
it's that easy just to move out as an HBCU.
I think
we don't know that. We don't know that because there's never been an HBCU that's ever been remotely good enough to even attempt to make that move.
They could do it. Deion is getting elite recruiting.
He got Travis Hunter to go there. The nigga who looks like he's about to win the Heisman and potentially be a number 1 overall pick unless someone takes like a D lineman or something.
Okay.
He gonna get more Travis Hunters.
It is possible, but then that goes back to the what are you doing for HBCUs thing, that whole conversation. And I also think the problem with HBCUs, or at least like, so the Ed Reed situation, they hired him. I think they were like,
was his Grambling State? Was it Grambling State? Or no, that was Bethune-Cookman.
Yeah.
They just won that game, didn't they? Did they play Memphis?
Oh shit!
I think I saw a D lineman get a pick 6.
I saw that shit.
Yeah, keep going.
But so like Ed Reed comes in, and I think they tried to mimic that success,
right?
And then Ed Reed was calling them out on their bullshit of like, they ain't paying nothing. They want me to pay out of my pocket to fix everything, do all this other shit. And I think that is a problem with a lot of
that. But that's go ahead.
African American. When you get to a certain level like that, they try to ride off the strength of we're black, but you pay for it.
That's all I'm saying.
So I think they also can't afford it.
It's nice. That's what I've been saying. The infrastructure is not going to be what
but in
you
20
think it
years,
is.
though, I'm saying in 20 years, you don't think he could get the money if they're constantly better. You don't think you could get the money.
I think he would get it for Jackson State.
Yeah, I'm not talking about HBCUs as a whole. Let's be honest, we ain't building shit up for HBCUs. He just needed to Jackson State. He needed a first-time job so he can go to a Power 5 and say, "Look what I did here. Look who I turned around."
So it's less about Jackson State necessarily. It's just of taking a small school and
build him up
versus getting to the same level.
I think him hyping up, oh, I'm an HBCU now. Look, we bringing the swagger. I'm bringing this for y'all. I do think he propped it up a little bit because then as soon as a Power 5 come calling, I'm gone. You don't even say, no, let me finish out. I feel like his contract was longer than 3 years. You don't even finish out your first contract. You ain't hurting for money. He done paid for things. You didn't have a bad relationship with Jackson State. It wasn't like, oh, you offered to pay for things because he did come out of his pocket.
Yes. I'm sure he had a very in his favor contract. Like Jackson State did not have any leverage in that to begin with. So I'm sure it was like, okay, yeah, I'm signing a 8-year. I'm gone whenever I want to be gone.
Right.
Like I'm here to help you guys build up facilities, all this shit. But at the end of the day, I got to do what's best for me.
That's fine.
That's all I'm trying to say is that I don't think he needed to be there for 20 years because at the end of the day, niggas move on to better jobs.
Because you want to use that black HBCU that finally gave his coach a chance
use it?
to move on.
So if Deion used it.
Just to go play for the white man.
But hold on. But
it goes to a bigger thing of like, yes, it's HBCUs, but I think he's just more trying to prop up black people.
Yes.
Yes. You can't say you propping up black people and you're hyping up HBCU history and then leave the first time you get it.
Now when you're on a Power 5 school, what do? Well, 75% of my coaches are black. You don't have that anywhere else. Anywhere else in Power 5. Nowhere. For a fact.
We're gonna put this on here, and I'm gonna research all the Power 5 schools.
Please,
guarantee
every single one.
And we're saying 75%.
75%.
So 75% of the coaching staff.
What does that
include?
Power 5.
What does that include for Colorado? What is including in the coaching staff?
I'm assuming that's like position coaches.
Position.
Are we doing strength and conditioning trainers? Are we doing all that too, or just like coaching?
Coaching. I'm going coaching. I don't think a trainer coaches.
So does the strength and conditioning coach?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that counts.
Okay.
Coordinators.
Yes, obviously.
Okay.
75%. You're not having that anywhere else. So I think, like Dallas said, he's putting on for black people. And back to the HBCU thing, I can only control what I can control. So if I can control bringing Travis Hunter comes because I have a relationship with him and he wants to play for me because I'm the best corner ever. Cool, I can control that. So he comes to Jackson State. My son, who is going to be a first-round NFL draft pick, is my quarterback. Now, okay, after that's gone, who am I? Yes, I may still bring.
You think he can't bring in other people?
Yes, I think he can bring in other people, but the controllability of the situation.
He already had other 4-stars and 5-stars coming on.
The controllability of the situation is not as strong as what I would like it to be. So then if I get this 5-star quarterback, right? But he's not my son. And he listen to me though. I can't control then how good he's going to be. So, and you're in a situation now where you have to win every single time.
I think you could have.
What does that even mean?
A different way, and
I thought you were going to say you can't control him getting there as much as you can your son not being good. He can't really control his son being that good either.
This is a perfect storm for him. Of like, I have my son who's actually good and the number one recruit, and we're going to change the culture of a program. Now, I think after that, you can still recruit 5-stars and all that, but you have the choice of getting people to join your culture as opposed to we're just picking 5-stars and hoping they stick and land.
I don't think they was hoping and sticking and land from coming to Jackson State. I think I think the Deion factor will get a lot of people because, like you said, they're getting on ESPN. Oh, you telling me I could still be a draft pick? I could still do this, do that, and eventually they might schedule. And the only reason why he wasn't scheduling D1 schools was because he said his D-line and O-line weren't big enough for Jackson State, which in 3 years, you don't think he could recruit players that could then compete D1 level or even 2?
I think the ability to do that is going to be quicker somewhere else.
Yeah, obviously at another D1 school, it's going to be quicker because you're a D1 school.
So if I get 2 recruits for 1 on each line, that carries me for what, another 2-3 years? Now I have to
that's what
4 years at least.
No, but you're saying that's what college is.
Yes.
But to move up, and you need to have all of that. So if the Deion factor is still there after 20 years at Jackson State,
this is with Deion still being there. That's what I'm saying.
Well, then hell, okay, then maybe. But what I'm saying is, like you said, we don't care about HBCUs anymore.
Correct. We don't.
So if Deion's going to be Deion, so he's always going to be in the news for something. But after 10, 12 years, and he's doing great, who's paying attention to it if he's not playing anybody outside of the SWAC?
But I think he would be playing people outside of the SWAC in 5 years.
I think that's a lot to ask for once it becomes.
How is it a lot? Anybody would play him. We get to play this hyped up Jackson State team that's going to be a televised game.
It doesn't have to be Alabama.
Yeah,
like you can still play.
You can play Memphis,
a Division I team, and it's like, all right,
a Georgia State, a Georgia Tech, somebody.
All right, I think that's a lot to ask
but
the HBCU team to move up.
I don't. So do you believe in Deion or not? Is the question.
I do believe in Deion.
So you think Deion? We just saw what Deion did with Colorado.
He also believes in white infrastructure, though.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. That's what he needs. A white man. He needs the white man. Got to be a part of it.
Pardon. I like how you do that. You on your Joe Budden shit.
You talking about the white?
He talk around.
He loved the white man.
Come back in. I like that.
He loved the white man.
Because obviously the HBCU infrastructure is not going to be. If you're trying
you
to
keep
get
saying HBCU, I don't give a fuck about the other HBCUs.
Jackson State is an HBCU.
But I'm talking about Jackson State themselves.
Jackson. Deion was there at year 3 and didn't have clean water. Year 3. and didn't have clean water. Nigga, this is not just, it's Bellarmine basketball trying to compete with Louisville basketball.
See, I'm
gonna
Bellarmine
Google basketball is a fucking Louisville city school, and it's a Catholic organization. There's money there. We're talking about an HBCU in Jackson, Mississippi. Like, what are we? This is not the same, people. And so in 20 years, could Jackson State have possibly fixed all their woes with their campus, recruiting people, having money continuously coming in, just off the Deion factor and him winning SWAC championships.
But you
well,
keep
maybe.
saying just winning SWAC championship. It's more just
He's
Deion.
not. If he's taking 20 years to move up, Terrence, they don't play in another conference outside the SWAC.
But you can schedule out of conference teams.
Okay, so cool. You beat Memphis in
And
year 12.
He's playing a D1 team within the next 5 years at Jackson State.
Not with that line.
Obviously, if he would have recruited, he would have recruited D linemen and offensive linemen to come this year. That actually
Was
he had
he
recruits
not
that
recruiting?
switched.
Was he
They
not
switched.
recruiting? Was he not recruiting?
He literally even said on one of his press conferences, he was just like, "Give these boys 2-3 more years or something like that, and I will have them. They can ready to compete."
All right. I mean, but 20 years, I don't think they're moving up.
You're wilding. 20 years.
Deion's not going
20
to sit there for 20 years.
Okay, so we're having a conversation that doesn't matter. But I don't think.
I'm
don't-
saying he's not going to sit in the SWAC for 20 years.
Yeah, he's leaving.
Okay. Obviously, Deion's bigger than the school. Obviously, we can see that. But you still have to
Niggas be
have.
lying. Jackson water is safe to drink. Just be
Okay.
headlines.
Yeah. Just
Don't
be
worry.
strong.
Don't worry.
Just be strong.
I'll screenshot it.
Just be strong, right?
This ain't Flint, Michigan. We different.
Just be strong. Niggas was in the hotels. Niggas had to go stay in hotels during the season in year 3 because of the water situation. Find it. Do your Googles.
On October 31st, the Environmental
Do your
Protection Agency
Googles.
announced that testing has shown Jackson water is safe to drink.
Okay.
And that was on October 31st of 2022.
All right. Well, I'll find some.
That's
clips.
pbs.org.
We'll put it in after.
No, Devin, you like
No.
to do. You do the. You
Do
you
your
like Blue
Googles.
Lives Matter and Black
Do
Lives
your-
Matter.
do your
He do the
Googles.
catches. He does the titles.
Yeah.
And
Do your
don't back
Googles.
it up.
Nigga,
Do
don't
your
read the
Googles.
articles.
Do your Googles.
Well, so Deion's at Colorado now. And they won.
They did win.
They
They
beat
did win.
TCU on the road.
Multiple people was like he couldn't do it. Niggas
I
was
didn't think he
like,
was gonna do it.
Niggas was like, it's a team full of transfers. But this team was 1-11 the year before, and had a halftime lead in 2 years.
Boy, get off that court. Why don't you?
So, I like it though. I like it. There's 2 things I'm trying to talk about. One is just niggas hating. Niggas just love to hate for no reason. For no reason.
It's easy
Nobody
to.
cares.
It's fun.
Hate
It
is fun.
It is fun.
Fun,
It just
dude.
roll off the tongue.
It's so
you
fun.
can wake up.
It's so fun when you hate on somebody and then they also they just fail.
Oh,
Like
that's
they
even
don't
better.
accomplish it. Like now your hate came to fruition.
Damn, niggas is really haters.
No, it's great. But like hate is cool on people who deserve hate. I don't think Deion deserved hate.
I do.
He's black.
I think he came in. And
He's
he
black.
ruined the white
That's what
man.
it
is.
He ruined the white man's way. How dare a black man come in and do what the white man's been doing this whole time, getting these recruits? No, that's fucked up.
Here's what the issue is that okay, Colorado was fucking garbage.
Garbage.
Terrible.
Terrible.
We are in a era of college sports where the transfer portal is it's a thing, like it's a massive
It's
thing.
free agency.
That being said, they never seen anybody do it to this level. So other white coaches were taking advantage of it, but they ain't never seen no 80 player swing on
Right.
a roster. So that was the issue. That you can't do this. That's not how this works. What? How are you going to say that?
And two, it's like, granted, you didn't have to swing 80 people because 80 of y'all people weren't bad. It niggas suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's the thing.
and other dudes who also are bad, they're like, damn, I wish I could have. And you don't have the capability because you're not
Yeah.
Deion.
Correct.
Like motherfuckers were talking about like 200 kids was trying to come already. Just not even him say anything to him. He's just like, I'm trying to come play for Colorado. Can you find me a spot? So that's like, I don't even have to recruit.
That's-
Boy, get off the table.
That goes back to the
Kids.
HBCU thing of like, as soon as he went to a Power 5, all right, yeah, I'll come now.
yeah.
He also flipped some recruits that were going to go to Jackson State and just
Yep.
took them away, Devin. Took them from the HBCU.
Yep.
They said, come to the white man's university.
Because you want to play for Prime.
Any of the good players, all right, y'all come on over here.
Mm.
The scrubs, y'all stay here. Y'all need to build this
Yeah.
up. Y'all need to keep
y'all need
building
to
this
stay.
program.
He was at the end because they had like a little Amazon Prime thing for the Jackson State team. At the end, when he was like, "Yeah, I'm going to Colorado," he was like, "Now some of y'all need to stay around, keep helping out, build up this organization."
Y'all will be the new building blocks.
Because y'all can't come with me.
Yeah.
Y'all boys ain't ready.
I wonder what it's like to be sitting somewhere and the person's like, yeah, so everybody that was here before, you need to find somewhere else to go.
Well, it's like those kids were crying at first. I remember they was like the ones that were like, oh, you got to go. They was all crying. Deion was doing this. He didn't give me my tape. But you didn't have no tape 'cause you didn't play.
Yeah,
All you had was practice tape.
you was on the bench.
I'm going to go. Like, it's
He
time
won't
to go.
at least let me release my practice tape. No, because we're trying to work on something.
Right.
You've been here 3 years.
Right.
It's not happening.
You ain't got no in-game film yet?
No.
All right, well.
Well.
Welcome to Pikeville.
But I will say that that one white boy, that safety from that stayed.
Hey,
I see why he kept him. I see.
He was like, Coach,
That boy was out there hitting.
I ain't even get the show.
Deion said, I'm bringing Louis. And he was walking, he said, whoa, now, hang on. You staying. I wasn't talking to you. But, so let's go on the opposite end of black excellence.
There we go.
So for every good, there's an equal and opposite bad.
Yeah, there's a bad. There's a bad.
BS High is out on HBO Max or Max, whatever. Talking about the Bishop Sycamore deal. Devin, why don't you just kind of break down the generals of the situation, what happened with that, and then
Lock that nigga up.
we'll get into it.
So there was a guy in Ohio a couple years ago. Well, first, let me take you back to my personal viewpoint of the situation. I turned on ESPN, and so football. There's IMG Academy, this big powerhouse football. You just go there for sports, and
Is this back in 2022,
something like that.
or 21, something like that.
21.
Okay.
And you turn it on. You're like, oh, there's IMG on ESPN. That's a normal. You see that every summer or whatever.
You don't blink an eye out.
You see the school Bishop Sycamore, like from Ohio. You're like, who the fuck are these guys? You get on, you're watching the game. They're sharing helmets. Literally, oh, I'm playing offense. Oh, defense. Take it off. Here you go. Sharing helmets. They ain't got trainers.
It was crazy. They were talking about, oh, we D1, and then on one of the highlights you see is two niggas go for the kickoff at the same time. I'm like, you got all these D1 recruits apparently, and they can't run a kickoff properly?
Just ridiculous. So people look more into this after the game, and they figure out that this is a fake high school made up by this guy. Never coached a day in his life. Just like, hey, I would make a high school, but I want it to be football centered.
Right.
And we're going to make some money off this. So he goes and recruits kids from the inner city that maybe got bad grades.
There you go.
Bad living situations.
Helping people out. Helping
Helping
black
people
men
out. He has them staying in hotels and not paying bills. Has them taking out PPP loans in their name for tuition.
It was fucked up too, because when you watch the documentary, he talks about like the really first quote is like something about they talk about anger as an umbrella emotion. I'm like, this shit getting deep, and I thought it was just you make a fake school,
Right.
and you just had grown men playing. Because I kept hearing grown men, I was like, oh, these are like 28-year-old men, something like that.
I heard that too.
And so then when he was like, oh, umbrella, I'm like, oh, this is kind of deep. Like, nigga, you just made a fake school. And then as it progresses, and you're sitting there, and at first I'm like, oh, okay. He just out here, his whole thing was, you can see it, he just wanted the IMG Academy.
Yes.
He wanted to make his own IMG Academy. That was his dream. And how he was going to do it was take advantage of black folk that need a way out.
Right.
And when you need a way out, you're not going to, you couldn't go to nobody. Not the 2-parent homes.
Right. No.
You need somebody struggling.
He's struggling, so
Somebody
they won't
who's
check.
Down on their luck and just, I'll do it.
You can go. But he's going through, and what his first quote, he says, he said, yeah, boy, get off the table. Sorry, y'all, my cat. He said, do what people who have the money do, even if you don't have the money.
Which is a
fire quote.
It's not a fire quote.
And that is a good way to think.
No, it's not. It's a bad way to think. You know why? Because people that have money do what they do because they have money.
Right.
Don't do it. It should be, do you see what the people who have money do? Don't do what they do because you're not going to get away with it. You don't have the money.
But see, that's the reason why I wanted to talk about this. That point right there. Thank you for bringing that up, Terry. because you have to have irrational confidence to be able to be successful in this world.
No, you don't, though.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
And I promise you that thinking,
Yes,
you don't.
To
You
be
don't.
ultra successful, yes, you do.
You don't.
You may have a measure of success. I think I'm successful.
I don't.
Right?
I don't think irrationally you can. It's not confidence if you're irrational about it. Now you're just arrogant, because it's not that you believe in your ability. It's that you also put everybody else's ability down, and that's why you prop yours up.
But hey, if you aim for the stars, you'll land on the moon.
No, these are terrible quotes. I'm
Fire.
telling you.
You have to do
You
it.
end up with $300,000 in debt, and you have 15 different court cases
but
on
he
you.
has an HBO Max TV show,
And
that
he's
is
going to
known
prison.
across the country. Hey, there's no cases, I think, that are actually being tried right now. So right now,
He
he's
got
out free.
He out free, but they gonna get that money back. They getting that money back.
Think about it. Steve Jobs, irrational.
He was not irrational.
The company he started tearing failed, and he was like, "Nah, fuck it, we gonna run it back."
That's not irrational if you
That's
fail
irrational.
once. No,
That's
it's
basically
not.
exactly what this nigga did. He
No,
said,
this
"Damn,
nigga said-
LOC failed.
Thank
We
you.
running it back."
And Steve Jobs
Nigga, we using the
also
same
had,
jerseys.
Steve Jobs also had a backing. Like his family had some type of money.
And he
don't
was
have
running
money.
he was running out of this little fake LLC his mama set up.
He had they were doing doing some wild shit. They were making it where they were pulling out insurance policies on life insurance policies through the church, and then the people would give a percentage of that life insurance policy to the church, like to them. That was how they made their money at first. Because I was like, how are you getting funded for all this shit? And I was like, okay, that's already in and of itself iffy. But then I like the dude because the dude, his whole thing was he was gonna have a school. And then, like IMG Academy, you're gonna have the sports leg.
Right.
You'll have an actual legitimate school though,
Legitimate
so people come
school,
get education.
teachers, everything.
So they had that one dude come in that was first on it. He was like, "Yeah, let's build the school." He was like, "Oh yeah, let's build the school and this big facility, and we'll have football too."
That shit was wild.
His
that
thinking wasn't
drawing,
like have football. Yeah, 150 million.
that drawing, that shit looked like the Bengals stadium.
I was like, how many people are you having put money into this church with these life insurance policies to make this 150 mil, $200 million?
Hey, it's the church.
Wasn't that when he was like, "Let's get to work"?
I'm like, bro, where are you trying to find the funding for this? So then old dude's like, okay, well, we still need this is going to take, the first one's like, it's going to take some years though. He's like, this is going to take like 3 or 4 years for us we need to build the facility,
Exactly.
get everything together. He was trying to do it the right way.
He was like, no, we're going to start playing games tomorrow.
And then all of a sudden he said, hey, we rented out this kicking stadium or whatever, this little indoor stadium.
Indoor soccer stadium.
Yeah. And said, yeah, we got practice tomorrow. It's like, practice?
Practice?
There ain't no school.
Where you getting the kids from?
He's like, yeah, we're going to go ahead and start the football team. He's like, bro, the whole agreement was we was going to have a school first and then have the program. He done skipped it, went ahead, and then went from there.
You got to be psychotic, though, a little bit to fulfill your dreams. I think that. I think you have to. I think you have to be that way.
I think people may think you're like being psychotic and doing what any means necessary, what it means fucking other people over is not how you should fulfill your dreams.
I'm not talking about that part. I'm talking about just saying like the guy was like, I'm gonna do this.
There is a very big difference between
a
a massive drive, personal drive.
It beating down there, hey.
And being actually crazy.
Yeah. You definitely have to be able to balance the two to be more humanistic.
I think crazy people are successful, yes, but that's also because they don't care. They're going to fuck everybody else over.
Yeah,
you don't have to fuck everybody else over.
If you go to that point, then yes, obviously. But at the first part, they're successful.
You can't leave out the rest.
First part, though.
No, you can't leave out the rest. So you're telling people, hey, if you want to be successful and guarantee, just fuck people over. It's okay.
No, because no, you just have to have the drive that doesn't allow the outside noise to crowd.
That's
what
what
you're
you're
trying
not
to do.
crazy
when
for
you're
having
fucking
the drive.
these people over, it's just it doesn't affect you. Like you can just keep going. The drive lets you keep going.
But somebody can say during your focus in that, hey, you're fucking me over.
No.
But it really won't be that. It's really just because you were trying to value your success more.
You're right. You need to put yourself first. But if you're actually going through it and fucking them over, it wasn't like hey, he was telling the truth.
Right.
He had that big thing. I'm a liar. He literally says it. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm a liar. I'm the most truthful liar you'll ever meet. And then the white guy, like one of his white dudes, like, yeah, what he's going to do is he'll say, like, oh, he's the most truthful liar, so I'm not going to lie about things
that happen.
Because then you're going to keep looking in deeper. And so pretty much they're like, so he's like, I wouldn't lie about stuff that you can prove because then you can just pick it up and prove it. They're like, so you would lie about things you can't prove?
Oh, my God.
I mean, it makes sense.
Could you imagine?
No, I get it, though. If you're going to lie smart.
Yeah.
Being a kid that signs up for Bishop Sycamore because this guy was talking all nice on the phone. Yeah, we're going to get you to Bama. We're going to get you there, boy. And then you get there and you're like, what the fuck?
Are we playing in an indoor soccer stadium?
What the fuck?
What is this?
I couldn't even hate, though. At first, I was like, how are you kids going to just listen to this man? I said, damn, it happened to us. I was like, bro, he's just he's lying unprovoked though. Like he's just sounding I didn't even ask for Bama. He just told me Bama.
That's what
if you're gonna do it for free,
it's so easy.
It's so easy to believe. You get caught up.
So, anything else we got about the whole situation? In closing, just to kind of wrap it up.
Parents, make sure that you're always checking out shit when your kids come back to you.
Yeah, they need to check more. It was not vetting and showing.
That's wild.
He used to also say, too, like about being a coach, he was like, I would say things, I'll pull that dog out of him. Y'all are 0-6. And the closest game they had was 21-7 or 21-6.
They never won a game.
The crazy part, like, when they were, like, getting all the players at the beginning, and their Twitter feed was just DM me.
Bro, I don't think it's a bot. I was like, oh, this is not real. Like, this is a bot.
So.
And it was fucked up, though, because he's like, actually a narcissist, because he was like, oh, because once the school thing, like, wasn't going through, they're like, why'd you continue? And he's like, oh, I don't know if it was, like, ego or my heart, but I think it was my heart. And I was like, bro, you gotta hear bullshit. It was not for the kids. Because Armani Jones, is that his name? The black guy? Emory Jones?
Yeah.
Oh, when he was like, putting kids up against, like, other kids that aren't physically...
Bomani Jones.
Bomani Jones.
When, like, aren't physically capable to compete. Like, in basketball, soccer, tennis. Cool. Yeah. But football, where niggas is hitting each other, bro, you said
he said go run into a wall 30 times and then do it again the next day.
And not even have the defense, bro. They played IMG. I felt like I was watching Ballard Burns.
Yeah, that shit was bad.
I was like, damn.
Was Coach Jackson, was he doing some malpractice shit?
Probably.
Why the fuck was Ballard in that game?
Why was it?
With no Devontae.
It would have been too late, though. Devontae would never be able to get the ball.
21.
Nah, he wouldn't get the ball in time.
He would have got it across the
slant. Across where?
The slant, it took it.
Nah, that D-line was that. That's the thing, though. They could have triple teamed him then.
Could you imagine Mo trying to get the ball off?
He's getting that D-line, that O-line was not surviving. Where our senior year O-line when we was freshmen.
Oh, my God.
When they was up playing 5 4-stars on the fucking D-line, O-line, yeah, it was raps. Them niggas, as soon as they hiked the ball, D-line was in his face. You couldn't even run a screen.
No, yeah.
It looked like they was running screens the way they just went past him. I was like, the fuck?
That game, I was like, in warm-ups, I was like, something looked different. Like,
bro, they had matching cleats. The skill positions had the same cleats. The linemen had the same cleats. I said,
their jerseys look like an all-star game.
Yeah,
I was like,
shit was crispy.
They look real good right now. Like, all their warm-ups was just real organized and shit. And I was like, I think we about to get our ass beat.
We over here doing the little claps on the legs and shit.
The coaching staff was hyped because they got matching Nike shoes from the Nike outlet, some bullshit. I was like, boy.
Our supplier came through.
Getting put on. Talking about we going to punt on 3rd down. Actually, now I think about it, the way how he succeeded upwards is actually kind of wild to me.
The niggas hate on Deion. Wrap it back up. Niggas hate on Deion.
Oh yeah, and they also jumped a homeless man in the documentary, which was crazy. Yeah, it takes a turn to where he like actually they don't go about it for that long, but for like 15 minutes, you're like, oh, this nigga's evil. Like one of the people's like, yeah, so we were on the road and there was 5 geese out on the road, and he just sped up, runs him over, and he's like, I gotta teach y'all what war what it's like to go through war. He's like, and ain't nothing better than smelling the scent of fresh blood in the morning. He's like, yeah, he took it, put it in reverse, and ran the goose over again. And the dude's like, oh, yeah, there was 5 of them. I hit one, but I guess you could say there was 5. I hit multiple, but I only hit one. And he's like, after I already hit it, though, I had to just make a joke about it. So, because he was trying to, like, defend. Every time someone said something, he had a reasoning behind why he was doing what he was doing. I was like, okay. This nigga, and he was beating his girlfriend in front of people.
In front of the kids.
He beat his girlfriend in front of one of the players and said, you see what you made me do in front of my players? And then the player said he got in the car and said, yeah,
she was acting up, right?
Yeah, she was acting up. I'm like,
she deserved that, right?
I was like, damn.
This guy was a psychopath. Is a psychopath.
Okay. Question, and then we can. So is Ballard really is not that great of a program, right?
They're better now.
They're better now.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they went to state.
Did they really? Yeah, they're actually good. They're actually consistent.
Okay.
Look, I'm telling you what it was.
What they had to do? Had to get a black man in there.
Just get a real coach. I'd be honest. It's crazy in hindsight seeing it.
Spanky?
Yeah.
Was he still there?
No, I don't think so.
I thought he was a coach.
Was he a coach at Jackson, the coaching tree? Okay.
Oh, shit.
I just didn't know. Because, I remember, like, was just Devontae like a flash? And then it was like, because we were okay.
Yeah.
Devontae was LeBron. Well, Eric Spoelstra has actually proven now that he can still do it. But imagine if Eric Spoelstra never succeeded after, never did anything
David
after.
Blatt.
Yeah, that's Devontae for him. Like, oh, we're good. And it's like, bro, you had an NFL, you had a top 12 pick in the draft.
Because who did, respectfully, I guess, did Coach Jackson develop anybody?
No.
Like,
No.
I feel like we did not get better.
No, there was no development
ever
whatsoever. It was the same.
I actually saw players regress, which was the crazy part. I was like, damn, it keep getting worse.
Oh, shit.
I think it kind of it makes me mad because I don't want to be the dude that's like, you have dudes look back 10 years.
We could have been.
I could have been something. I could have played football, blah, blah, blah. But then you really think like, damn, bro, coaches really have a big thing because like, I ain't gonna lie. Fuck, if he ever hears this, I ain't gonna stunt. I think he ruined a lot of people's football careers. I think he took a lot of players that could have been something, or at least went to better.
Could have got you an education at least off of it.
Education off of it. I think he was very bad. I think he would, and it's easier to say it now because in hindsight, but I do think he babied some players compared to others and allowed them to do things to like repeat.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also see some players who are more talented than others, and then you would still. I'm like, why are you trying to kick Keelan off the team for missing because of an AAU practice? Like a legitimate reason.
Exactly.
And you got some niggas on the team who show up just because they just didn't want to show up on time. And he looked like Keelan could have. I fucking around and say he might have been able to make the NFL too. I think he could have played both sports. He could have played tight end.
He was he's clearly a professional athlete.
Yeah, like he could have played tight end because as a freshman he was already 6'2", 6'3", but big. They could have morphed him into a nice little vertical threat tight end.
I think he thought that this was high school basketball is different. People are going to play positions that they're not going to play at the next level just because of heights and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
There were some people that should not have been playing the positions they were playing on football.
Yes.
Like.
Yeah, why are you? Yeah.
Why are we running 3-5-3 talking about we want speed on the ball? So we're going to, literally they said, we're going to take every position that you're supposed to be in, we're going to move you up. So if you're supposed to play safety, we're going to move you to linebacker. If you're supposed to play linebacker, we're going to put you on D-line, which means, I guess the fat fucks on D-line, you just take your shit out of line. I don't know where to put you. Yeah. So then it's like, okay. And then it just went like that. And I'm like, bro, we play in Kentucky at the time. Now everybody passes, but we up here playing St. X, even Trinity, a whole bunch of people. Them niggas line up in that damn wing T.
Yeah.
Run heavy.
We coming.
Yeah, Central, same way. We're gonna run that Bicky. I'm like, bro, why are we? All right, hey, y'all knew better.
I think, and then we'll.
That's why I needed a father in my life. I needed a dad that knew.
They were advocate.
My mom ain't
They
no
were
sports, so
advocate
she don't
for
know
you.
what happened. But me, hey, best believe I'm never gonna be that parent that's gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna take over, like I'm gonna be the coach. But if you,
But, yeah,
I'm gonna know
yeah.
if you play in a sport, I kind of know.
Be like, nah, bro.
No, he's
nah.
bullshitting, bro. We
Yeah.
we going. Like
Yeah.
I'm never gonna hype you up and make you think you the best player. Like you could be the best player, but I'm not gonna be like, oh, you're above everyone. But if I'm seeing your talent being wasted and the coaches being weak, I'll be like, hey, it's time to go, son.
Time to go.
It's time to go, daughter, because they don't know what they're doing.
I think sometimes I have to take a step back and realize, like, yeah, you're coaching football and you're coaching basketball and all that shit. Like, you can still be like, you should be working at Kroger. Like,
right. Right. We give too much respect.
That you have this headset on that we
Yes.
think we know. You at least have a semblance of an idea of what you're
No.
doing.
Niggas and social study teachers talking about we should trust in they vertical West Coast offense. Nigga, you play Madden just like me.
You have actually no idea what you're doing. Like, you're just like this Bishop Sycamore dude.
Pretty much.
But it's a
You
high
just
school,
thought-
so we
you
don't
filled
care.
You filled out the little flyer thing.
Yeah,
didn't you?
but we actually need you to teach this class still. So go ahead, you keep coming.
Because let's be honest, in Kentucky too, like
And he actually had a hold on. He actually had a real class, like not just like a Coach Renner. Hey, we're gonna throw out these books because y'all know what I'm on. I'm trying to win state championships.
Yeah.
Now he was in there. Now you see on chapter 2.
another under achieving coach if we want to talk about it. But hey,
Hey, but he in the Hall of Fame, Kentucky.
oh, well, hey,
So he did get one with
with a team that wasn't
yeah,
his.
yeah.
Interesting. And the one time we have a real chance. Well, 2 times. Had 2 shots.
Twice.
Didn't even make it a state our senior year. Hate to see it.
Oh shit.
Is that just poor execution junior year?
Yeah.
Yeah, you up
Yeah.
20. You talk about run the clock.
Talk about run the clock.
Let's keep
No.
going. If you're going to
No.
run the clock, all right, then don't shoot for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, there's no shot clock.
Take advantage of the broken system.
Right. Just
Don't
pass
do
it.
no, let's go, and then for some reason at 40 seconds, let's take a contested shot like you got to get a shot clock violation. Nah, and plus I'm like, bro, just keep doing what you're doing. If it ain't working, then
That's
do
what
it.
I never understood is pulling the foot off the gas. Light that shit
Giving
up.
him an opportunity.
Light that shit up.
You're being successful, and now you're stopping to do something else.
ridiculous.
Because 20 points lead in high school and even in college are
Yeah, that's
NBA
not
big.
it's big, but it's also dangerous.
It is dangerous.
You come out up 20 at half, they score 8 straight. You only down they only down 12. Hold on, y'all. Hey,
Damn.
we got life. It's like,
I've never celebrated, and this is coming from a Bengals fan when we were up in the Super Bowl. I've never celebrated a championship that had not been won yet, like junior year. I was in the crowd, like, oh, we just won state.
nigga hit a half court shot to end it. I was like, oh, we gotta win. Like
We just
everything's
won
going.
state.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, Taryn, what you got?
Like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube. If they ever hear it, hey, matter of fact, if he ever hears it, I did talk shit about him.
Where's
just
he
now.
at now?
Mayo, ain't he?
He was last time I checked, I think.
How you fail upwards to the team that's won like the most state championships other than like Trinity? Like that's a public school for real.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember our senior year. Fucking that. We played in Mel, wasn't it? To end the year, we got 40 piece. Like
It was like you couldn't even talk. It was like, all right, that's what we do.
But
Hey.
anyways, yeah.
No hate. I hope you got better at your job. You know what I'm saying? Look, I'll just
You got kids' lives in your hands. Still.
I don't want to be the salty one. I do think you ruined my career at corner, trying to put me at
I
outside
knew that where
linebacker.
that was coming
I'm a
from.
hate ass nigga. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I was Revis Island freshman year.
Oh, shit.
0 caught passes on my side. I was actually Sauce Gardner before Sauce Gardner. But you know, hey, it is what it is. You know, niggas want to put me at safety, run this weak ass 3-5-3, even though I don't like it. But you know, hey, it is what it is. I play professional sports now, so I can't even be like
You're
I
right,
failed.
right.
I can't
You
be
made
like
it right. You made it right.
I said a transition to sports. Maybe
Exactly.
that was my calling.
Be sure to follow the podcast pages, Apple Podcasts, Spotify,
God,
Instagram. Leave a comment. Share what you thought about BS High and either you support Deion or not.
Yep. Appreciate everybody listening, and we'll see you next week.
and that's why I hate.
Peace.
I wake up every day. I wake up. I hope he ain't doing.
Seriously unserious with T Meek, D Board, D Jones, scanning on whatever we feet on. We just getting started to feast on. The table is set, the mics is checked, it's topics to speak on. Seriously unserious with T Meek, D Board, D Jones, standing on whatever we feet on. We just getting started to feast on. The table is set, the mics is checked, it's topics to speak on.